I stood near the back of the chapel, my eyes locked on the heavy wooden doors. My hands stayed steady, but my breath carried a sharp, uneasy rhythm. For weeks, a storm had been brewing inside me, and today it would unleash its fury. Her words echoed in my mind. Don't come to our wedding in your uniform. Don't humiliate me. Humiliation. For stars gleamed on my shoulder, forged through 20 years in the Navy, clandestine operations, farewells at sea, tempests and solitude. Those stripes honored brothers who never made it back. For her, I would have walked through fire. Yet I emerged in pristine dress whites, gold trim shining, ceremonial sword at my hip. The chapel doors creaked open and 200 seals stood in unison, their movements razor-sharp. "Admiral on deck," a voice announced. Her gaze didn't falter, not a single blink. Only a slow, deliberate tilt of her head. Her face cold and resolute. I once thought she loved the man beneath the medals. Now I saw the reality. Our paths crossed in Washington, D.C. She was elegance and keen wit, draped in a tailored cocktail dress, serving as a liaison for naval intelligence. I had just returned from a mission in the Black Sea, still burdened by the scent of brine and hidden truths. Her smile suggested she already foresaw our story's end. For a while, it felt perfect. Her laughter softened my edges, evoking memories of peaceful nights. She claimed to loathe war, but respected the men who conquered it. I mistook her words for admiration. She moved swiftly, wedding plans, joint finances, vows of serene mornings and radiant sunsets. She said my deployments didn't trouble her, that she valued my reticence, that she was proud. Empty promises, I later realized. The first crack was subtle. At a dinner 2 months before the wedding, her gaze drifted past me, detached. Her phone buzzed relentlessly. When I asked, her smile stretched too thin, citing campaign noise. A congressman's office needing her PR skills. But I knew her tells. The way her left hand brushed her throat when she deceived, the faint hitch in her breath when I probed too near the truth. Then came the changed laptop password, vague work trips, the subtle scent of another man's cologne on her scarf. I let it slide, clinging to the hope I was wrong. But the silence between us grew poisonous. No longer a refuge but a toxin. My last deployment was to Bahrain. She didn't see me off at the airport. That's when I began investigating. There are two kinds of men. Those who confront betrayal outright, and those who gather evidence until it suffocates the guilty. I chose the latter. Using a ghost protocol, disposable phone, offshore server, untraceable IP. I dug through her email history, GPS data, and call records. What I found wasn't mere infidelity, it was a meticulous scheme. She was entwined with the congressman she claimed to counsel. His name appeared in encrypted files tagged asset leverage. My name surfaced in a private memo. Marriage optics valuable, phase out after election. I wasn't just betrayed. I was a chess piece in her political strategy, meant to be discarded like a worn-out campaign sign. I called in quiet favors. My attorney arranged a prenup audit, masked as Navy procedure. I untangled my finances, stopped automatic transfers, and safeguarded my assets. I sent the congressman's wife an anonymous envelope. Photos, transcripts, hotel records, no message. Then I waited for her text. Don't humiliate me. Her attempt to seize control, to demand obedience. She forgot who I was. The chapel overflowed with guests. Her side looked like a political fundraiser, all tailored suits and practiced smiles. Mine resembled a squadron of ghosts, weathered and unyielding. I walked the aisle alone, the organ halting mid-note. She stood at the altar, cloaked in ivory lace and ambition, her jaw clenching as she saw my uniform. 4 stars, bars carved with tales of sacrifice and loss. You swore you wouldn't, she murmured as I approached. I leaned closer. I swore to marry you. That was before I found the files. Her face paled. I took my position, stone-faced, and waited. The priest began. Dearly beloved. Then the door swung wide again. A woman entered, 40, poised, exuding restrained fury. The congressman's wife. Without a word, she handed the priest a manila folder and departed. He opened it, his mouth falling open in disbelief. He looked at me. Continue, I said. He faltered, then muttered. This contains sensitive information. Perhaps we should. I stepped forward. There will be no marriage. Murmurs swept through the crowd. Chairs creaked. She hissed, "You planned this?" I nodded. Every step. The screens came alive. I had tampered with the slideshow projector, swapping our vacation photos for her files. Memos, images, GPS markers. Her recorded voice rang through the chapel's speakers. "He's useful now. After the wedding, I'll nudge him to resign. A civilian admiral looks better on campaign banners." Silence seized the room. Then a slow clap from the congressman's wife, standing just outside the doorway, now flanked by journalists. Camera flashes burst like gunfire. The seals stayed motionless. They didn't need to intervene. One whispered, "Justice served." She fled, her heels clattering on the marble floor. I didn't follow. Turning to my men, I said, "At ease." They saluted. "Yes, Admiral." I stepped into the sunlight, the burden on my shoulders dissolving like never before. They say revenge is best served cold. No, it's best served in dress whites, in full daylight, with an audience. She wanted me stripped of my uniform. She got her wish, but not as she intended. I surrendered my stars, not in defeat but in peace. When I signed the annulment papers, I scribbled one note in the margin: "Blood doesn't bow." Now I sleep alone but complete. Never again.